What's going on, guys? This is Martyrs Brigade 99 coming to you once again with another session of Dark Souls PvP. Alright guys, and we're back at it for another part of the series. And you know, to the extent that you guys hadn't followed from part 1 of the series, we're back at it in the forest. We're going to be doing some random invasions as a forest hunter, which is a delight. Sometimes it's a treat. Other times it can be a nightmare, and I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with that. Right? Alright, so we have two confused dudes, and I don't know why, because it's just one of me and both of them just basically standing there with question marks over their heads. So now I guess we're going to get some action. And actually I've run into these clowns a few times. Alright, got a high-speed dude with a pike. Got another guy with his little handy-dandy Havel shield. Now, one thing I'll say about the high-speed Havel shield. Now, you know, I don't want any of you guys to underestimate the tank build. Right? Because I definitely got humbled the other day. First and foremost, like, shout out to Hell Servant 23. I had a series of matches with him, and for the most, and actually, I think he won all of them. Right? I don't think I beat that guy one time. Not one time did I beat that dude. And it was basically this build against his tank build. And when I say tank, I mean all the way tank. Right? And now I'm not talking about the type of tank that you noobs use. You know, the one with the dark wood grain ring, heavy armor, and a Havel shield. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a real tank. Right? Because to the extent that you guys are familiar with military vehicles, right? Let's just say a paladin, for example. They are very slow, but they're powerful. Right? They're hard to penetrate. And that was the type of tank build that I was faced against. And actually, I don't really want to talk too much about it, because I plan to do an upload featuring the series of matches between myself and good old Hell Servant 23, for which he gave me rightly deserved beatdown. And the thing about it was, I couldn't do anything about it, especially with my strength build. Now, had I had a dexterity build or a caster, oh, I think I definitely would have got him. Mainly because you have castings that can eat through shields. You have Wrath of Gods that can stagger a brick wall, basically, especially when you're doing that dead angling Wrath of Gods attack. You have the Pyros that basically, it doesn't matter whether he have the Havel shield or not, because you can fire Tempest him, you can hit him with a number of castings. Right? I mean, or even when you use a dexterity build, you can at least try to bleed him out if you can't penetrate through his high defenses. But a strength build versus a tank, dude, I really got my behind handed to me. And actually, it's going to be a good series, so I think I'll just kind of stop right there. But it was definitely a humbling experience, because, you know, a lot of times when you see a guy in full Havel, and actually he wasn't in full Havels, he actually had like black iron with a Havel shield, a dragon sword, and a Black Knight great axe. You know, you kind of see some slowpoke, you know, kind of running after you with the Havel shield. The first thing you think in your mind is, this guy's goose is definitely cooked. I'm getting ready to eat this guy alive. But I mean, that tank was definitely a force to be reckoned with. Now, the main reason that I can't wait to have that uploaded is for all of these guys who are of the opinion that a heavy build with heavy weapons, a heavy shield, and either a fat boy roll or a medium roll cannot compete is definitely wrong. Right? They are definitely wrong. So that's why I can't wait to have that uploaded, and actually it'll be uploaded either on Saturday or Sunday, one of these days. But I kind of had a lot of things to do, so hopefully I'll be able to add some commentary to it, edit it, render it, and have it uploaded for everyone to see the high-speed beatdown. And actually, that would probably be the second time that I would say that I actually gotten beat down. Right now, we're not talking about losing. Right, I've lost hundreds of times. I'm not talking about something that's evenly matched. I'm talking about getting the beat down. Right, 100% beat down. The first time that I actually just got beaten to a pulp is, I'll say, against Godly, that Faith Mage. Right, I did that Battle of the Builds, and I used a pure melee character against a caster that used not only miracles but also sorceries. All right, and basically he used the chameleon and a myriad of other attacks, and I just couldn't do anything with that guy. I think I may have won, I don't know, maybe 2 out of 20 matches. Right, and if you guys were not familiar, I mean, that's on my channel. That's a Battle of the Build series. And then here's a second time that should be uploaded, you know, sometime in the near future, with me against good old Hell Servant. I mean, I think I probably beat that guy twice out of like 20 matches. I mean, I was getting the beat down. Right? So I'll kind of be quiet about that, because I should kind of leave the commentary for that match. Alright, so I just got Hornet Ring. But it's not really that bad, because he Hornet Ringed me with a weapon that, I mean, doesn't really inflict that much damage. So even though he did Hornet, I mean, so what? Right? It didn't really do that much of anything. Alright. So let's see what we can do. He's chasing down the other forest guy. And, you know, I might help him. I might not. Who cares? Maybe I'll give this guy what some people would consider a fair fight. Alright, so let's check out these tactics. And actually, that was a super awesome parry. Alright, so let me just go ahead and retreat, because I really don't want to give this guy an opportunity to parry me a second time, even though it's definitely possible. And you guys notice I was rocking the high-speed hand axe. And actually, the hand axe is kind of good for guys who use the tactic that he's using. If you notice, he doesn't come at you straight on. He kind of used this tactic where he comes to you either in a clockwise or counterclockwise position. So it's kind of like if you're using the type of weapon that has a horizontal, well, actually a vertical attack, you will almost miss, because whereas you're slicing horizontally, he's steady circling you. Right? So other weapons with similar attacks would be, you know, most of the halberds, the scythe, you know, the lucerne. Most of those have those, you know, vertical attacks like. So that tactic is pretty good. I know, shout out to good old Yo Jimbo. He kind of uses that tactic, you know, especially if he's faced against one of those thrusting weapons. He kind of won't come straight at you. You know, he'll kind of do this circling thing so that anytime you attack, he's basically dodging them and he is able to counter you. So, you know, anytime you're faced against those type of guys, it's kind of good to have either a painting guarding sword, a falcon if you're a dex build, or a hand axe if you're a strength build. Because one good thing about those particular weapons is that they swing right to left, right to left, right to left, and it doesn't matter if they're circling you, because you're going to hit something as long as they are within range. Right? So don't think that just because you know, speak of the devil. Alright, so we have a dragon guy, and if you notice, what does he have in his hand? He has the bow. Right, so he's going to be looking for an opportunity to hit me with a dragon glitch. And these guys are pieces of you-know-what, in my personal opinion, because not only is he ganking, but this dirtbag scum of the earth, he has to use a glitch. A one-hit wonder glitch, for the most part. And if you notice, this is why his only tactic is to try to backstab me. But I have my handy axe right here. I'm kind of taking it to him. If you guys notice what I was talking about earlier, you can try to come behind me all you want, but the hand axe will follow you. Right? So if you're a strength build, go ahead and use the handy dandy hand axe. If you're a dexterity build, you have a myriad of other options. You have the painted guardian sword, you have the falcon, you have a few others. Guys, notice that? He can't get my back. This ridiculous guy with his little dragon boat glitch. Right, and he thinks no one can see him because he's got the fog ring. Right, a little desperate, wouldn't you say? Alright. So what do we have here? Wow, Black Knight Great Axe and a Black Knight Halberd. Okay, well this guy is definitely a winner. So it looks like these guys are perhaps at a high level, and actually we'll probably see at the end of the match, because most people do not use Great Swords of Artorias at low levels. Oh, okay, so his ganker buddy disappeared. Well, that's a good deal. And actually, I don't know why he, kind of started off ganking, but then he disappeared. But, I mean, that's good for me. That's cool. I won't say anything against those odds. And actually, once again, he was circling, so you have to punish him with the counter circle. Right, for all of you guys, I cannot state that enough. You catch somebody, as soon as you notice them circling you, pull back on your control, counter circle them. Don't care about them charging you with backstab fishing. They need to understand that the circle technique does not always work. Does not always work. You know, some of you guys call that the strafe or the strafe or whatever you call it. But whatever title you want to give it, I just call it a circling technique to keep it simple. Whatever technique you guys are using, you guys need to be conscious of the fact that some guys are not going to sit there and allow you to circle them. Players like me, as soon as I notice it, I'm just going to counter circle you for the win. Alright, so we have the Pike guy back at it with the Wrath of Gods, trying to create a little space, which is good. Right? Because everyone knows that pressure breaks pipes, and actually he's trying to add a little pressure with his little Pike and Wrath of the Gods combination, and I can almost guarantee he has a Hornet Ring with a high-speed dagger. But, you know, I mean, to keep it real, I would rather him use a Hornet with a dagger than be using it with a Black Knight Great Axe or a similar weapon. Alright. See, players like this will no longer exist come the 24th. Guys, notice that? He's got on giant pieces with a pike, which I think is 10 units. And he's ninja flipping. Guys like this will not exist in less than a month. You guys need to start brushing up on your builds, because in the brigade we've been fast rolling and getting practice without the Darkwood grain for, I'll say, a couple months now. Right? We've definitely been getting practice. So this is why a lot of my builds, you guys will notice that most of my builds fast roll, all except for the caster hybrid builds. Because with the caster hybrid, you can't afford to invest any points into endurance. Most of those points have to go into either dexterity for pyro, faith obviously for a faith caster, and intelligence obviously for a mage. And you just simply cannot afford to invest it in intelligence, faith, or dexterity for pyro, and endurance to be able to fast roll. So those will be the only builds that I have that will use the Darkwood grain ring. Right, other than that, fast rolling all the way, baby. Alright, come on, Pike dude. And actually his attacks are kind of predictable, and I've parried him a couple times in the last few matches. I don't think I'm going to get it off this time, but his attacks are definitely kind of predictable, you know. Once he blocks your shot, he'll attack you right outside of a roll, and these are some of the reasons why I was able to parry him in the past. Alright, so he has his backup, another Hornet ringing backup player. And actually, I think I might be in trouble, because these guys are out for blood. Alright, now what is the helper doing? And actually, I really should have chained him. But who needs a chain when you can do a double BS? Right? Who really needs a chain when you're getting the full effect? Unfortunately, he got a regular backstab from me, but the Forest Bro had a Hornet Ring. So that was what you might call double the pleasure and double the fun. Kind of like spearmint gum, right? Yeah. What's next? Alright, who's up to bat? The Havel dude. What's up, Havel? What's your little mask of the mother? Come on, dude. Oh, okay. Well, I'll give him some kudos. He's not even ninja flipping. Okay, so I won't insult the guy. He's at least doing a medium roll, which is sufficient for a heavily armored character. But it is what it is. Another day in the life as a forest invader. Alright. So what do we have now? Well, at least I have a helper. Now, one thing that I will say about some of you forest hunters, listen, dudes, I've read the comments. I see what some of you do because I've had it backfire on me a number of times. You guys see that? Dragon bow glitch. You guys see that? Pieces of you know what. Whatever, dude. Anyway, like I was saying, for all you forest hunter guys, listen, do not get discouraged in your 2v1s. Right? And the reason why I'll say that is, you know, I kind of read the comments. I kind of check out other channels and I hear what people say. Do not white stone out. Right? Just because you notice you're in a 2v1 situation. For a number of reasons. Number one, the more you do these 2v1s, although they can get frustrating at times, the more you do them, I can almost guarantee your tactics will, you know, kind of improve. You'll learn how to isolate your enemies. You'll get better at lock BSing. In some situations, you'll get better at parrying, right? Because of all of the pressure. That was a high speed out. Once again, why am I not surprised? So even though it does get frustrated when, you know, you get hornet ringed and all that, listen, do not get frustrated. Number one, because help will soon arrive. Right? You just kind of stick in there, dodge as much as you can. I can almost guarantee within a few seconds, at most a minute, maybe, you'll have some help. Right? Because I know some guys, they'll say, you know, why would I stick in there when I'm by myself in a 2v1? Well, the reason why you should stick in there is because it's your job to protect the forest, right? And protecting the forest is not just, you know, when the odds are in your favor. It's protecting the forest, period. You know, it's almost like the ship, right? It's almost like the captain of a ship. You know, does the captain, you know, does he say, well, I'm out of here, sorry for everybody else? No, he goes down with the ship because that's his ultimate responsibility. Right, so this is our responsibility, to protect the forest. Right, so like I said before, some of you guys, and I've seen it, you know, some of these guys, they'll just kind of sit out and hide, and then when backup comes, they arrive. Listen, dude, you just go out there and duke it out. It's only a loss. You know, I am really under the opinion that some of these guys just did not lose when they were kids. Like in other words, you never lost in anything. Because some of these dudes, they just kind of get easily frustrated because of a loss. You know, they rage quit. They do all these other things that you basically should have been taught as a child. Right? You know, you playing a game and you lose, you know, and you throw a little tantrum. Who do you have there telling you, hey, you better tighten up, it's only a game? Usually your dad is telling you that. Right? Either your dad or your uncle. Or maybe a coach from the football team, maybe basketball, chess team, whatever the case may be. You usually have somebody telling you, hey, shake hands, you say good game, it is what it is, you lost. So what? And I really think that a lot of these guys perhaps you're just not used to losing. Right? This is why some of you rage quit. This is why some of you guys kind of go nuts, because you're simply not used to losing. But in the brigade, I've lost a lot of times. right? So that's why, even though I may get ticked at times, I mean, it is what it is, because that's one of the gambles you take when you're playing anything that's somewhat competitive. You know, and this is, I mean, you know, the sports I played in school. You know, I used to wrestle. You know, Dark Souls, if you want to bring it to the point of the video game. I played tons of chess. Right, I've been playing chess for so many years. I mean, and actually, I probably like chess about as much as I like Dark Souls. Right, and I play kind of all the time. So, I mean, even in chess, you know, I'll kind of sit down with a guy and I'm like, man, I'm getting ready to eat this guy alive. But, you know, when he kind of popped me off with the checkmate, regardless of whether I may like it or not, right, regardless if I think like, holy crap, man, how did I lose to this guy? At the end of the day, it's only a game. Right, so for all of you guys that rage quit and all that, listen, you guys need to play some sports. Right, you guys want to talk about good sportsmanship, go play some sports, go play some games. Right, go play some board games with your family. Right, that'll kind of toughen you up a little bit, so you guys won't be spoiled brats just because you lose. So as I was saying, the point of the conversation was, listen, do not get discouraged when you notice that it's you by yourself faced against at least 2 guys. Don't get discouraged. Just go ahead, dive into it. Right? Because surely enough, backup will eventually come. May it be a dark wraith who just so happened to invade in the area where you are, or maybe it's another forge bro who's running in for backup. Don't have to white crystal out. Don't have to, you know, leave and retreat just because you see 2 noobs standing there with their little Black Knight great axes. No. Because the only way you're going to learn how to improve when faced against those type of conditions is for you to face those type of conditions. You'll never learn how to do 2v1s if you always flee from 2v1s. In other words, the only reason why I got, you know, not too bad at 2v1s was because I did a whole bunch of 2v1s. To the extent that you guys are familiar with the channel, I used to be in the forest all the time, all by myself when I first started the channel. So I had a lot of practice. I also used to play in the kiln a lot. I used to get tons of, you know, trolling, ridiculous, noobish gankers in the kiln. And, you know, instead of fleeing and just letting them kill me, I said, you know what, I know I'm going to die, but let me just kind of duke it out. And the more I did that, the more I learned how to isolate my enemies, you know, lock BS them, counter with parries, riposting, and all that. You know, you'll learn, you know, ways to escape, routes you need to run. You'll learn all of that, but you'll never learn it if you're always running just because you're forced again. Just because you're faced in a situation where the odds are against you. Now, this is the last match, and I thought it was pretty funny. This guy basically did a marathon trying to escape death. Right? But hey, that marathon is only going to be the death of him. Well, alright guys, that's basically it for the 2-part series. I hope you guys enjoyed the matches. Now, of course, a lot of these matches were the long form of some of the clips seen in the montage, but at least you guys got to see what the long form of the matches were. Right? So I hope you guys enjoyed the 2-part series. I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for all the new subs and everybody else. Martyrs Brigade is out.